on Drury Lane.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. And oh, what a beautiful day. Oh, it was another weekend morning back in the kitchen on Drury Lane. And oh, it was time to make the muffins. But usually fast asleep am I. But today, I couldn't get my beauty nap because there was a rather interesting quote that I just read. Right here. No, right here. Right here in this sentence. It says in the entire sentence, the poor you will always have with you, but you will not always have me. Now perhaps many will focus on the first part of the sentence, that the poor will always be with us. But I think Jesus might have been merely giving a description of the way the world actually is, not the way it should be. Actually, the Bible repeatedly commands us to help the needy and discourages those that try to take advantage of the poor. God told his people in the Old Testament, I command you to be open-handed toward the poor and needy in your land. And Jesus told his disciples to sell your possessions and give to the poor. From this verse, step by step and every moment by moment possible, we can solve problems such as the poor and homeless among us in the long run. And Jesus knew that. We need to believe it too, that action by action, the poor might be always among us, but we can work step by step and moment by moment to truly make a difference today. Speaking about helping the poor and homeless, let's take a closer look at an organization named Shelters of Saratoga. It tries to make a bright future for those in need. From the streets to affordable housing, Shelters of Saratoga provides a full list of homeless services for individuals seeking a better future. Why? Come along. Let's take a look at how Shelters of Saratoga, action by action and step by step and moment by moment, tries to help the poor and homeless.
Hi, I'm Mike Finacci. I'm the Executive Director for Shelters of Saratoga. And here at Shelters of Saratoga, we are the only shelter in 3 counties, Warren, Washington, and Saratoga County. We do have 2 shelter houses here on our property. Between both shelter houses, we can house up to 35 individuals. We are full every single night. When individuals come here, the main objective is to get them back on their feet, get them employed, and find them housing. We also connect them with any type of services they need, whether it be mental health services, substance abuse services. So many individuals come to us not having seen a primary care physician in years. So we connect them with the services they need. We have an outreach program. Okay, so my outreach coordinator will go out every day of the week. 3 days a week she's at Congress Park, sets up there so that the street homeless can come to her and get whatever it is they may need. Whatever you may think an individual would need to be able to survive in the outdoors. So we have tents, tarps, sleeping bags, clothing, toothbrush, toothpaste, food especially. So again, she's out in Congress Park 3 days a week doing that. 2 days a week she's out at the local motels on the outskirts of town. Now what happens is our Department of Social Services will house individuals in these motels. And so she makes sure she does the rounds at all the motels. And it's the same thing as setting up in Central Park. She makes sure that these individuals have what it is they need to be able to get along and survive at the motels. And some of the sad parts of that are there's quite a few families that are out there. So, if we need diapers, if somebody needs diapers, we'll make sure we get them somehow. We will provide all the necessary items that these individuals need. When it gets close to school starting, we'll track down backpacks and make sure they're filled with supplies so the kids have them for school. One of our other programs that we have is our seasonal program. It's our Code Blue program. When it gets to 32 degrees or less, or a foot or more of snow is predicted, our doors open at Code Blue. We provide safe shelter, meals. We do have staff over there that can do case management as well. Basically, that program is just saving lives. So we also have close to 10 individuals who come in just for dinner at night at our Code Blue program. And the reason that is because of the winter months and the cold winter months. It's either do I pay my bills or do I put food on the table? So they'll pay their bills, they'll come get dinner with us at Code Blue, and we'll see some families come in to have dinner. Because of the kindness and the generosity and the compassion of the individuals in this community, and through donations and contributions, we are able to keep those doors open and keep people safe and keep them out of the inclement weather that we get here during the winter months. Big news though is because Code Blue's been in existence for 4 years, and we've kind of jumped from place to place all 4 years, renting space. A local couple have stepped up and have agreed to donate the money to build a Code Blue building right here on our property, connected to our other shelter house. So come November 2017, we'll have our own building right here on our property to be able to run the Code Blue program out. Just a little while ago, you may have seen behind me at our dumpster back there, a few people looking into it, and one would right away automatically think, hey, people are dumpster diving. Here at the shelter, I'd mentioned earlier that people have chores, and today is garbage day. So it actually is somebody's chore to go out and make sure the recyclables are separated from the regular garbage, or the companies won't pick it up. So I think that we do such a great job of outreach that you never hear complaints from anybody in the community of people going through their garbage or going through their dumpsters, because we have so much to give. Individuals can, even when the RV for outreach isn't out, people know that they can always come here and get what they need. We had last year alone 375 people come to our door looking for a meal, looking for socks, looking for shoes, looking for boots, and it's all walks of life. So many donations that come in, and we were running out of space. So we did a little capital campaign and applied for some grant money, and we were able to put this addition on here, and right below us is a storage area with a big walk-in freezer cooler and more shelving space for our canned goods, dry goods, for the food that we get in. This list you'll see right here are individuals who contributed to the construction of this addition, this two-story addition. This was a one-time gift for the construction of the addition. To move forward, though, on a yearly basis, we don't get much funding here to run the shelter, much state funding, much federal funding. Okay, so again, we rely on individuals in the community to help and assist through our annual appeal, through our gala that we hold during the spring, through our summer fundraiser as well. And, you know, we do partner up and do some third-party fundraisers throughout the year. But without the contributions that we get from this community, we would never be able to keep our doors open. As I mentioned, we get very little in state and federal funding, so we rely heavily on donations from the community. And not only monetary donations, which obviously are always nice, it helps us keep our doors open, it helps us assist the over 400 people that we house here every year, but you know, we're always having people drop off food from events. Skidmore does it. Skidmore College does it all the time. We're always having people drop off clothing, toiletries. I just got a call from Saratoga Raceway and the Racino, the new hotel over there. They're changing out their sheets. So we're getting their sheets and pillows are coming over today, which is great because we use them here. We can use them at Code Blue. Now we'll take a walk around the shelter and give you a little tour of the shelter and stuff and everything we have to offer here. And you can see how individuals coming in here don't really see this as a shelter, but they look at it as their home. And we call them our house guests because they are our guests. We don't call them clients or residents or tenants, but they're our guests. So you'll see our shelter is set up a little different than your normal shelters. And a lot of people, when they first come in here, hearing that they're going to come to the shelter, right away think of a warehouse type setting with cot after cot after cot after cot. But as soon as they walk through the threshold of our door, the first question they ask is this the shelter? Because they think they're just walking into the office building part of it. So their mind is kind of set at ease right from the moment that they walk in because they're looking around going, oh, all right, I'm going to live here. This ain't so bad. This is pretty good. You know, it's like a regular house. Okay, so now we'll take a tour of the shelter. The office here to my right is my associate executive director. She takes care of all the day-to-day operations, oversees case management. When I'm out of the building, she's totally in charge. Over here to my left is our case management office. We have 2 case managers, and they're here from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. Their shifts overlap. Okay. And as you'll see, set up like a regular house. Okay, the house guests prepare the meals at night, unless of course somebody has delivered a meal to us. But the house guests will prepare our meals at night. Everybody eats together at the kitchen table. Okay. And if we walk this way, there's our living room area. You know, it's set up like I said, like a regular house. We even have a fireplace over here, which does work. It's a gas fireplace. And we have a closet over there with plenty of donated goods in it. Our furniture was all donated from Skidmore, which is nice because now it all matches. And up here in the front is our reception area. So individuals will come in, check in here. If you want to walk down this way, we can just our lovely display of green beans and peas. But again, all this is donated. It gets used. If we have too much of something, we'll reach out to other agencies that deal with the same population we do, and we share. And that's one of the good things about this community is that all the agencies work in conjunction with each other, and we have a nice working relationship. So if there's something they need, you know, we'll reach out to them and see if they need it, and vice versa. Our laundry area is right over here. So, you know, all the house guests we have are responsible for doing their laundry. So, as well as we have to do the house laundry. You can see that on the rack right over there. Those are house towels, house sheets. So again, we are trying to instill some basic life skills for these individuals so that they do, when they do get out on their own, they're able to maintain their housing. But this is the room I really wanted to show you. Watch your step there. of our donations. No, here, if you want me to get, we have tubs of soap and tubs of lotion and shampoo and toothpaste and all these pillows. And this isn't all we have. I mean, we have so much more. It's just we use up every little nook and cranny that we can to store this stuff, because we do go through this quite a bit. And again, we'll have individuals who aren't living here at the shelter come to our front door who need blankets or who need pillows, who need toothbrushes and toothpaste. So not only are we helping the individuals who are staying here, the 30, up to 35 individuals that are staying here, but we're also helping those that are currently living on the street as well. And our main goal is to get them obviously off the street and get them in that whole continuum of care. So we try to get them from the streets and this time of the year to our Code Blue shelter, from our Code Blue shelter over here to our case managed shelter, then eventually out on their own. Again, we've been open since November 6th at our Code Blue shelter, and we've gotten 10 people transitioned from our Code Blue shelter over to here, our case managed shelter. So literally since November, individuals have gone from the street to Code Blue, now into here. And we're trying to get them, we're working with them, hooking them up with services that they may need, helping them find employment, and helping them find housing as well. The challenges that we face as an executive director of a homeless shelter, there's a couple. Okay, it's trying to build that rapport with those that are currently street homeless, and to get them to come in and trust us and trust in what we're doing, and basically buy into the system of us helping them get their feet back on the ground. The biggest challenge, though, is some of these people don't want the help. So over time, again, you befriend them, and you try to, explain to them and guide them, so that they're going to survive while they're on the street and in the encampments, with eventually the hopes of them saying, maybe it's time that I stop doing this. And it's happened. It has happened before, but we don't have a big S on our chest, and we can only provide to them what we can provide. Ultimately, the decision is theirs. If they want to come into the shelter, again, it's drug and alcohol free. So some people have an issue and have a problem with, say, putting down the bottle to come in here. Some individuals, their mental health issues and their mental health status prevents them from coming in here. Not on our part, but on their part. They're not comfortable. They're scared. So when we do open that new Code Blue building, one of the things that I'm putting in is a bank of mailboxes, because the biggest problem is these individuals can't get services because they don't have an address, and that's something that you and I take for granted. But an address in an individual's life who is homeless means so much, because now we can start getting them connected with the doctors, maybe start getting them back on a regimen of medication if they need it, and start to get them connected with the services they need. Another problem is once they're in here, once we have them here, finding jobs is never a problem in this community. Finding affordable housing is a big problem. Affordable housing up here is about $1,300 a month, which in a lot of other areas outside of Saratoga is somebody's mortgage on their house. So finding housing after they're here or while they're here is the problem. A lot of times they find housing which is outside of Saratoga, and it's off of the bus line. Now there's a couple problems with that. People want to stay in Saratoga because A, that's where they found their job, B, that's where their services are. So they're finding these housing units off of the bus line. So now they're relying on somebody to get them to and from work, which is either a friend or a family member, and that runs its course real fast, real quick. So now this person has lost their transportation to get back into Saratoga to get to work. They can't get to work, they're going to lose their job. They lose their job, they're going to lose where they're currently living. So, and then they're knocking on our door again. And we've seen that happen a few times. So moving forward, that's one thing that the city's trying to do, is get more workforce housing, more affordable housing built here in Saratoga for these individuals not only our individuals, but there's plenty of individuals who work in the restaurants. There's plenty of bars, restaurants, shops here in town. It's just not affordable for those individuals to have housing here in the community that they're working in.
You'll love it! You'll love a free muffin from the Muffin Man. And here's your chance to get one. A free muffin delivered to you directly in the mail for just showing today's charity that you care. No money or credit cards or purchases necessary. And here's your chance. Simply send a message of support to today's charity and receive a free muffin in return. Log on to themuffinmangives.org. Make today a giving day. Will you join the Muffin Man in giving to others? We look forward to giving a free muffin to you as a thank you.
A lot of times, there's a big misconception with those that are homeless. Everybody thinks that they want to be homeless. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Nobody asks to be homeless, okay? Certain things happen in individuals' lives that lead them to homelessness. Again, whether it was the house that they grew up in, they may have been mentally abused, physically abused. What a lot of people don't realize is the number one cause of homelessness is domestic violence. Okay, so luckily we have a domestic violence shelter here in town, and they do wonderful work over there, and we work closely together. But just because somebody looks different, or somebody may not have taken a shower in a week, it doesn't mean that they're that different, okay? Again, that's somebody's mother, somebody's brother, somebody's sister. Some of these people we've had were professors in college, were engineers, were teachers, chefs. I mean, a wide array of individuals. Does some of their mental health issues play into it? Absolutely. They became homeless because that came into effect. Well, what happens then is somebody's on the street, they have some mental health issues. They're on the street, they're not connected to anybody because they have no mailing address, they have no roof over their head. So in order for them to medicate themselves, they can't do it the way they should be doing, so they naturally start and turn to drugs or turn to alcohol. So now you have a dual diagnosed individual living on the streets as well. And a homeless individuals are 13 times more likely to be a victim of assault. And statistics show that. So that's the education I'm trying to give to this community up here, educating them on this population and what we can do to help this population. My goal is to one day end homelessness here in Saratoga. It's a battle, but it's okay. It's a good battle. These people, they're human beings. It's a human life, okay? How they got there, a lot of times doesn't matter to me. I want to make sure that they're going to be able to wake up the next day, that they're going to have food on in their belly, they're going to have clothes on their back, ultimately have a roof over their head. So we do a lot of street outreach. You'll see me walking up and down Broadway during the warmer months of the year. You'll see me in a suit and tie sitting on the ground talking to them, because they're human beings just like you and I. So this is one of our rooms, one of our women's rooms, and as you see right here, we have an emergency cot. We are allowed 2 overflow cots, and they actually come in very handy this time of the year because of the weather. But they have to keep their rooms neat. They have to keep them tidy. A lot of people may think, well, geez, you're putting 3 to 4 people in a room together. How does that work? Believe it or not, they get along. These individuals have so much in common. Right thing. I mean, we've had plenty of people come out of here, meet here, and end up getting their own apartment together, and have been, friends, and continue to be friends, and continue to live together. So this is all brand new down here. Okay, there's our steps that lead out to the side. That's for our deliveries. This is our walk-in cooler. It also has a walk-in freezer inside of it as well. So all the donations of food that come in, it's put in here. Everything gets rotated. Everything is stacked in there the way it should be, according to Department of Health laws. Again, all the shelter, any donations that we may get will come in here. And we also have, you saw on the wall, the wall of peas and green beans. But again, we use every little space we can. And this isn't only for the shelter, but Code Blue, our Code Blue program, can come over here and get what they need. Our outreach coordinator will come in and take what she needs. And the biggest thing with our outreach, when she's going out to the encampments or sets up in Congress Park, is the homeless don't have can openers, so a lot of the pop-top soups are good. Those are convenient for them. So she comes in and takes all those and takes them out to the people living out in the streets and living in the encampments. We have individuals who came through our shelter who are on our staff now as monitors. We get the schools, the local schools come and they'll prepare meals for dinner for the night, or they'll have fundraisers at their school and they'll bring the stuff down here. We have families come in, moms with their kids, and they rotate the inventory on the shelves, or they'll put together the bags that we'll bring out and leave for the people in encampments if we don't see them. So, but if somebody's looking to volunteer, we get plenty of Skidmore students who come and volunteer here as well. But if somebody's looking to volunteer, they can go on our website and look at all the options that are on there. And then they'll get in touch with my associate executive director who oversees the volunteer piece of the shelter. And she'll just find out where their interest is, what they would like to do. And then we'll set a time for them to come in and do their volunteer.
Well, welcome back. I'm still trying to bake the muffins. But finally, I think we're finished. I hope you enjoyed our show today. If you would like to make an order or donate muffins to charity, then please go to the website listed below. With every muffin order, we donate muffins to the charity of your choice. I call it giving your dough to charity. I also encourage you to donate directly to the featured charity today by going directly to our website and getting their information. Thank you very much for watching, and keep on dancing through life by giving to others through love. Let me finish baking these muffins, and see you next time.